Hi, I'm Maggie Panter, and I am a lifestyle coach, and I own my own health and wellness business where I help others virtually gain control over their nutrition, their workouts, their fitness, and just overall wellness, and helping them incorporate that into their everyday busy lifestyle. So today I'm going to be talking to you about grocery shopping and just what that entails. And I really feel like grocery shopping has become such a daunting task, and it doesn't have to be that way. There's so many questions, whether it needs to be organic or not organic, or what should you be spending, or what should you look on the food labels. There's so many questions that I want to clear the air about. So that being said, I'm going to jump right into it. First things first, you have to meal plan. Meal planning is just not an option. If you don't meal plan, you're setting yourself up for failure. And if you don't meal plan, you are going to spend more money and have less. We all have gone to the grocery store and we've spent $200 at the grocery store, and you get home and you say, what am I going to eat? What do I have to eat? There's nothing to eat. And it's because you didn't come up with a plan before you went. You just bought a bunch of stuff and snacks and junk that probably just looked good at the time. So in order to avoid this from happening, you have got to meal plan. You have to sit down, take 20 minutes, and write out everything that you want to make that week. The way that I do my meal planning is I sit down on a Saturday or Sunday, and I write out about 5 different meals that I think it would be easy to make that week. Now, when I say easy, I mean that it has to fit with my schedule. So, for example, if I'm going to be out all day long, I'm going to be gone all day, either at work, and I'm not going to get home until 8 o'clock at night, then I know that I'm not going to be able to make some elaborate meal when I get home. I'm going to be very tired. I'm going to want something easy. And so for that night, let's say it's Wednesday night. So for Wednesday night, when I'm planning and I look at my schedule and I see that Wednesday I'm not going to get home till late, I'm going to put down something that I can throw in the crock pot Wednesday morning, and that when I get home at 8 o'clock, it's going to be done and ready to eat. So look at your schedule and cater your meals to your week in that way as well. So pick out the meals. A great way to do this is going on Pinterest. So, logging onto Pinterest and scanning through meals that interest you, that seem, fitting for your lifestyle, that seem easy or, medium to make. It might be a little bit harder, but that's okay. On some days, it's fun to make a little bit of an exciting, elaborate meal. So do your research and sit down and really think about what you want to have to eat that week. So after you've sat down and made your meals, you are going to compose your list. Here's a list that I found at my parents'. It has the weekly meal planner, so it has the main dish and 2 side dishes. So I can write down the meals that I'm going to have that week at the top. And then I'm going to compose my shopping list based on those meals. So this is amazing. It's an amazing tool that I found. If you don't have anything like this, that's okay. You can write it out on your own sheet of paper, or you can type it out on your computer, or look at Pinterest. They have everything. I bet you could find a free printable or something like that on Pinterest where they would have the exact same thing. So when your meals are picked, you're going to go and look at each meal, and you're going to say, okay, I picked such and such casserole, and for that casserole I need chicken. Do I have chicken? If no, you're going to write it down on your list. If yes, then you don't need it. So you're going to look at each ingredient of every meal that you chose and pick yes or no to the ingredient. Yes, I need to write it on my list, or no, I already have it in my house. For this casserole, it requires garlic powder. I already have garlic powder in my kitchen. I don't need to buy that. Does that make sense? So you're just going to look through each of the recipes and see the ingredients that you need and if you need to buy them at this particular shopping trip. This saves so much time. So I encourage you to meal plan. It's so important. So when I meal plan, I just really meal plan the dinners. So that's what I write at the top. And here's why. For breakfast, I eat the same thing every day, eggs and bacon. So I will add those to the list accordingly. If we're running out of eggs, I'll write down the eggs and bacon and so on. If I have a plan to purchase something else with, for breakfast or make pancakes or something, then I'll have to plan that out and write that down. But as far as the mornings go, I literally just eat eggs and bacon every day. For lunches, we just take leftovers. And if we don't have leftovers, then we do something like a big salad or maybe make a spur-of-the-moment trip to Chipotle or something like that. But for the most part, we tend to have leftovers around the house from the night before. So my husband might take some to work and leave some for me and AJ here at home, but we just always have those available. And if you don't have them available, I really encourage you just to make extra dinner. So whatever it is that you're making for dinner that you're planning for, maybe double it so you can take it for lunch the next couple of days. It just is a no-brainer to me that you can use those meals for more than one thing. Sorry, my phone went off. So that pretty much takes care of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So once you've had those meals planned out, you can then go to the store. Before you get to the store, I have a couple of no-nos that I want you to remember before making your shopping trip. Here they are. No-no number 1, do not talk on the phone. While you're at the store, you have a goal. You're on a mission. And if you're talking on the phone, it's distracting. You are, not paying attention to what you're putting in the cart. You're walking around and really you're wasting time. So unless you are in and out and you know exactly what you want for that particular trip, stay off the phone so you can get what you need and get out. No-no number 2, do not go hungry. How many times have you gone to the store and everything looks good and you literally end up with everything in your cart? It's happened to me a lot. I try not to do it and I tell myself I'm not going to do it, and sometimes I just can't find anything to eat, or I forget, and it's crazy. It's just chaos. So you end up and you go to the store and you're starving and you're putting things into the cart. Oh my gosh, these chips look good. Oh my goodness, this granola looks delicious. And you buy things that you don't need. So going hungry is a big no-no. No-no number 3, do not bring children who will distract you. Now this one really depends on the age of the child. So my son is almost 18 months. And he's at an age where he will sit in the cart and he really enjoys going shopping with me. He doesn't really distract me or tell me he wants things or anything like that yet. I know that might be coming to an end. But we all know the kids, maybe they're yours. I know that this was me when I was little and I went to the store with my mom who, Mommy, can I have this? Mommy, can I have that? Oh my goodness, Mommy, look at this. I need this. And that's not the kid's fault. It's just them wanting. They're excited. They want those things. They want to try these new things. They saw this on TV. They saw the commercial for those cookies, so they want to try them. It's natural for the children to do that. But guess what? It's very detrimental and chaotic. And guess what? You end up putting things in your cart just to get them to be quiet. So if it is possible for you to leave your children at home with a loved one or with grandma or grandpa or anything like that, I encourage you to do it. It's a chance for you to get out of the house alone, and it's a chance for you to really be focused and focus on your nutrition and focus on what's the healthiest way to nourish your family. No-no number 4, do not forget your list. We talked so much about how it's important to meal plan and make this list that you need to take with you. But if you forget it, do not try to shop without it. It doesn't work. Take it from me. I've tried it multiple times. I left my list on the counter. I left it in the car, whatever it is, go back and get it home, have them take a picture of it and send it to you. It's just, you can't go from memory. You'll forget so many things and you'll end up having to go back anyway. So I encourage you, just do not forget your list. And if you do, go back and get it. You've meal planned, you have your list, you have the no-nos, and now you're at the store and you don't know what to do. You have your shopping cart, you're well prepared, and now we get to the store. So now I'm going to talk about the aisles and the strategy that you should take when you're in the actual grocery store. The first thing is to shop the perimeter. So many people have heard this term, but maybe don't know what it means. So shopping the perimeter basically means that you're going to go around the outside of the store. The outside of the store has things like the produce, the meat and the deli department, the eggs and the dairy. I don't eat dairy, but that's where my dairy alternatives are found. So my almond milk, my cashew milk, all of those are found in that area as well. So really, I rarely go down the aisles. I do have to go down the aisles for things like my olives or like diced tomatoes or things like that. But really, for the most part, I stay out of the aisles. I really stay in the perimeter of the store, and it really has helped me stay on track. Now, I will say this kind of leads me into my next point of staying out of the aisles. There are 2 aisles I go down in my local grocery store, and those are the health food aisles. It's becoming more and more popular for our grocery stores to have a health food section. So whether it's gluten-free or just a general health food section, I encourage you to try these aisles out. There's great things in there that I think can help you stay on track with your diet without totally ruining it. In my grocery store, I have 2 aisles that are health food related. There's a frozen section and there's a packaged section of packaged foods, and that's where I find my gluten-free treats, my healthy potato chips. No potato chips are healthy, but I do love my avocado oil potato chips that we get from that aisle, and like my gluten-free breads or any cereals that we give my son. We find in those 2 aisles. And in those 2 aisles in my store are right next to the perimeter. So I really have it made when it comes to my little path, and I literally know it by heart. Okay, I go right, and I stay right here, and I go down these 2 aisles, and I have like a system, and it's so easy and so perfect. I'm always in and out of there. So look for your health food section in your grocery store. And if you don't have a health food section, that's okay. But I bet you it will be there soon. The next thing I want to talk about are nutrition labels. Nutrition labels can be baffling, especially when you're just not sure what they mean, what the labels mean. So I'm going to talk about what you want to look for on those packaged foods that you're going to be using. So the first one I want you to look for that's a good thing, is no sugar added. So whether it's marinara sauce for your spaghetti squash or canned diced tomatoes or whatever it may be that might come packaged, always look for no sugar added. Food companies unfortunately know that sugar is just as addictive as cocaine. And they use that as a way to make you a customer of their product for life. They add crazy amounts of sugar to their products, so you'll get addicted and buy more. So if it says no sugar added, that means that there's no additional sugar than what's found in the product naturally. So for example, we buy these popsicles that are made from fruit. And we get the ones that say no sugar added, because that means there's sugar in them because of there's sugar found in fruit, but that means that there's none added extra to the popsicles besides what's naturally found in nature. Another thing that you want to stay away from when you're looking at the labels is when it says things like low fat, fat-free, or low calorie. In my mind, when I see those things, I think low nutrition or high sugar. Because when they take away fat, they have to replace it with sugar. Because when you take away fat, fat tastes good, okay? And when you take away fat, you are taking away that that taste that people like. So they replace that taste with something else that tastes good, which is sugar. So when you see those, you should have alarms going off and you should stay away from those products that say that. The next thing that I always get when we're talking about grocery stores is about a budget and price. Here's where it gets a little bit hard for me to describe my way of thinking. Because I personally really don't have a budget when it comes to our groceries. And here's why. To me and my husband, and we're on the same page when it comes to this, to me and my husband, our health is the most important thing to us. To me, and especially the health of our son. Nothing means more to us than our health and our son's health. And we believe that our health is directly reflected by what we put into our body. So if we are putting in cheap things, then we are going to have cheap results and a cheap health. And it's just something that we're not willing to skimp out on. Now, I will say that it is more expensive to eat well, which is just so unfortunate. But the way that we look at it is, in the long run, we are going to be saving money on medical bills. We are going to balance that out in the long run. So when it comes to a budget, it's just hard for me to come up with one because it doesn't really cross our minds. Of course, if there's sales or, good deals or something, we'll absolutely take advantage of that. Or if there's two products that are the same and one is cheaper than the other, then, one brand is cheaper than the other brand, of course we'll go with the cheaper brand. I'm not saying that we buy the most elaborate, expensive, luxury groceries. I'm just saying that it's a priority to us to buy the most healthy food that we can. And that unfortunately means that we spend more because it costs more to eat well. I did keep track of my last grocery bill just for this particular blog because I wanted to share that with you. I was able to plan 4 dinners, and remember that those 4 dinners carry over into our lunch. I bought snacks, drinks, a few treats, and I spent $160 at my local grocery store. And those meals have gotten us all the way up to, let's see, I think it was about 8 days. It's been about 8 days since I've gone to the store. And we do have to go back occasionally, like if we run out of eggs or anything like that, we will go back and buy those things. But for the most part, I would say in a week, we spend about $150 to $175 a week. And that doesn't always just get us a week. Sometimes that gets us more. Sometimes that can get us 10 days. And sometimes that gets us less. It just really depends on what we get, how fast we eat it, and how well we planned the meals. I noticed that my son is eating more, and so I start to buy more and make more for him because he's eating a lot. So it just really is a give and take, and it's something that you have to really figure out what is best for you and your family and your priorities. Do not think that because I spend more than you or less than you, that you have to spend more or less. You have to do what's best for you and your family. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is organic versus non-organic. And I will say that this is something I've never really worried about. I really just buy whatever I see. There's no rhyme or reason. If if these peaches look good to me and they happen to be organic, great. If they're not, I'll still buy them. So there's no rhyme or reason for it to me. I've tried just trying organic, and I didn't necessarily feel different or notice a difference in the way I felt or the way it tasted. And so it's not really a priority to me. If it's something that you enjoy, if it's something that you feel completely different about, then you should buy organic. And if you really like it, then that's what you should stick to. If I'm not discouraging anyone who likes organic food, it's just something that I can't really tell a difference. So I don't limit it, or I don't not buy it either. I do both. Now, wrapping it up, I just want to remind you to think outside the box when it comes to meal planning, trying new products, and being creative in the kitchen. Grocery stores can be intimidating, but if you have a well thought out plan, you can be successful both financially and with your food. The food can end up tasting well, you can save time. It's just crazy to think that being so structured with your food can actually pay off in other ways. Like I said, your time, your money, and it frees up a family dynamic that I never really thought about doing before. It's something that my family never did growing up when I was young. My mom didn't really meal plan. She just bought quick, easy meals for us to make. And now that I'm an adult, I just realize how much extra time we have together, because I'm able to not have to scramble to the store and run to the store and pick up all these ingredients for dinner that night. I'm able to, look in the fridge and look at my meal plan sheet and say, okay, tonight we're having this, and prepare it easily and just enjoy it with my family. So I really encourage that you try these steps. If you have any questions about what I do, how I eat, or how I shop, please feel free to ask and leave those comments below. Or you can always email me at happyhealthymaggie@gmail.com, and I would love to hear what you have to say. I look forward to hearing your comments, and I hope that you have a great grocery shopping experience the next time you go. Have a great night.